Welcome back to Ray's Garage. I'm Ray Cornelia. This is the What's in Your Toolbox Toolmakers collaboration video. My contribution to the collaboration is the Mush Hammer, which stands for Multi-Use Shop Hammer. That name was given by Stan Zinkoski a couple years back, I believe. Anyway, the three people involved in this hammer are myself, Brad Jacob, and Randy Richard. I got to take a minute and thank both them guys very much. Brad took on the task of making the handle, which is one of the hardest parts of the build, and it's made out of stainless, so it's not an easy part to make. He did a fantastic job so far. He sent me some pictures of it, and Randy accepted the challenge of making all the tips, and he made 2 sets of tips for the hammer. My part of it is the head itself. I use 17-4 stainless because it's a polished part and it resists chemicals and, you know, just rust and wear and tear. Let's see. I saved you some of the easy machining. So far I got this far on the head. Started with a piece of 1-inch 17-4 stainless. Machined it down to 850 thousandths, and it's 2 1/4 inches long. And then tapped it and threaded quarter 20 for the set screws, which hold the tips. And the tips are 850 in diameter and 850 in length. And 1 tip goes on each end. What I have left to do is I left the boring part for everyone, which we'll be doing next year. We're going to drill this to a bore of 29/64 for a 1/2-20 thread, and then we're going to bore a shoulder. Because what happens is the handle that Brad made is going to screw into this head, and then the shoulder is going to countersink into it, so it looks seamless. So that's what we got up coming next. So I got to get it done. I'm under the gun, and I got to thank you both, Brad and Randy, because you guys jumped up and took care of business, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll get this done this evening and get it out to Brad. As a lot of you know, that Brad will be going to Keith's to deliver all of the Toolmakers collaboration tools and contributions to Keith, and really looking forward to that. And this is the 2nd year I've been a part of Keith Fenner's Toolbox Giveaway, and I'm proud to be part of that group. So let's get started on this. Okay, we're going to get the mush head chucked up in the vise. And then we're going to find centers on everything. I normally wouldn't chuck something up like this, but I know this part is perfectly square on both shoulders. So I feel pretty confident that we're going to have no problems machining it like this. Normally I would use a V-block and hold it the other way, but we should have no problems with this. Let's get our center finder. It's a Brown and Sharp 1/2-inch center finder. Why I'm cranking this by hand, I don't know. I have a power crank. right here to the left of me. Oh well, sometimes it's just easier. Okay, there's our number. That's our width with the 1/2 inch center finder, and we're gonna just split that number in half, and that should put us dead center. Now we gotta find center on the y-axis. Okay, I got my centers, and that was a Brown and Sharp 1/2 inch edge finder I was using, not a center. I'm going to use a little center point now just to visually check my measurements and the DRO to see where we're at with it. So if everything looks copacetic, we're ready to spot drill it. I zeroed out the DRO, so we got zeros in both the X and the Y. That way if anything moves, I'll know immediately. So let me get a spotter drill, and we'll spot that. Okay, this is a Cobalt 3/8 spot drill. And that's a 1-inch screwy ball to keep us company. Thanks, Chuck. Okay, I need to go 450 thousandths deep. So set our quill DRO to 0 right there, off the touch off. And that's way too fast. You know what? I think I might go to that gear. That's 100 RPM. Let's see how that does. That's a 25/64 drill bit. Our final size is 29/64. There we go. And we're going to clean that up with a boring head too, so let me get that drill bit changed out to the final diameter and be right back. I thought I had a stubby 29/64, but I don't. I have a long one, but I already have a pilot hole, so I should be okay. I'll just have to take it kind of easy. So let's get that. Gotta get my 0. Okay, got our 0. There we go. 450. Okay, let's get cleaned up and we'll be back. Next step, change out the drill chuck for the boring head. And we're gonna bore this to our final dimension of 4531 down to 450. And square off that bottom. Because of course the drill bit leaves a little bit of a taper, and I want a nice flat bottom in there for the clearance for the threads on the head of the handle. So let's change out. Okay. All right, we got to pick up our 0 and get our diameter for the boring head. So put it in neutral. All right. First, let's pick up 0 here. Okay, we got 0 on the quill DRO. Okay, back. We'll let that power feed down to our final depth of 450, and we just have to clean up those the drilled side walls a little bit and get our final bore up to 453. Okay, guys, I got the hole bored to 453, and I got the bottom of the hole shoulder squared off down to 450 thousandths. So apparently it wasn't too bad because I only had to take a couple thou off, and the bottom, the drill bit must have had a really steep angle, and I didn't measure it, but I hardly have any taper on the inside of that, so we're good. Now we have to drill the shoulder, and that's got to be 623 thousandths, and that's going to be about 100 thousandths deep. So let me get set up for that, and we'll bring you right back. I need to bring the knee down to give me some clearance to measure that hole, because this one's got to be dead nuts perfect. That should be enough. Okay. I just realized my tiny snap gauge is either missing, broken. I can't put my hands on it, so I'm going to take a piece of material and I'm going to make a slug to test that hole. I'll make it a little undersized just to be safe. Let me whip that up real quick and I'll be back. Okay guys, back. I had this piece of 5/8 drill rod. I machined it down to 6/22 and 7/10. So we're going to use that as our guide. That's pretty darn close to where we need it to be. I'll use guessometers till we get close and just start taking a little at a time until we can get that baby to slide in there. So let's get started. Okay, we got to take about 160 thousandths out of this for the shoulder. Again, the shoulder is going to be it's going to be 100 thou deep. So let me set my depth real quick and we'll be right back again. See how that goes. Feeding that nice and slow. Take a look at that. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. All right. Okay, a little out of time, man. Check my depth again. Let me do this with this run. Okay, got the depth set. I think I got all the little bugs worked out. We shall see. Let's take it a couple thou at a time. Let's go. Like I said, boring operation. Okay guys, rinse and repeat till we get to 623. Okay, this should be the final cut. Just a whisper has to come off. I'm just gonna make a spring cut and that ought to do it. All right, guys. Okay, the next step, I'm gonna measure that with my homemade plug gauge here. That, and then we're gonna tap it half 20. Okay. I got a bottoming tap here. It has about a 3-thread lead in. Put it in the Jacobs chuck, and I'm going to start it in straight, and then pretty much just do it by hand because I can't feel the bottom of that hole in the machine. So let me bring that table back up. I'm sorry, knee. Okay. Okay. It seems to be going pretty good. Okay, I'm going to take it out of the chuck and do the rest by hand. All right. We have clearance? Yes, we do. Let me get the tap handle. Okay, let me clean out that hole, and we should be there, man. Okay, guys, a little cleanup and getting this packaged up and sent off to Brad Jacob. So my contribution to the What's in Your Box Tool Makers Collaboration Toolbox Giveaway by Keith Fenner. Thanks for coming along, guys. See ya.